Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage.
Wreckage right here on channelattitude.com and Hamin Media Group YouTube. I am your host, Jimmy T. That is my co-host, Jamie the Vet Williams. Vet, what is going on, my friend? How's things? And got a bit of sifting to do.
What are you talking about, Jimmy? I love AEW. I love everyone in the world, and I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too, man. Yeah, I love everybody in the chat too. How's that? We all love each other. But anyway, we're not here to talk about love. We're here to talk about collisions, explosions, as in Dynamite,
belts,
and rampages and belts. That's true. 15 already. Battle of the Belts 15, which I've already
rings,
got a gripe on
honors.
Because, dude, we've got it all here on the wreckage. But Vet, I don't know if you saw this, and I guess this is sort of part of the news.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me you watched the Piers Morgan show a couple of days ago. And if you haven't, did you hear about it?
I did see it, yes.
Boy, speaking of a wreckage, I mean, Piers Morgan, that little shifty snake, I mean, he brings on Mushnick while you've got Russo, not Maven, but Marvin.
Marvin, yeah, he corrected himself later, but that was hilarious.
Yeah, thank God, I cringed, dude, when he did that.
I bet you his producer immediately was in his earpiece like, Maven.
I'm telling you, man. And Maven would have cringed. We even had Charlie Caruso on there, which surprised me, but she's looking good and different these days. We also had the coach, and am I missing someone? I think that's it. That was it. And then we had Mushnick coming on later on, but damn it, I'm going to give kudos where kudos is due. Vince Russo absolutely ripped Mushnick a new one, legitly. I'm actually quite proud of Vince for doing that. I think it was a long time coming. Now, I don't know how you feel about it, but dude, I mean, I don't know if Mushnick is a liar or not, but when he said, yeah, you said this and that, you're against Vince, and Russo saying, yeah, prove it. Show me. You know what I mean? Show me. And he couldn't do it. I don't know, man. I thought Vince was very passionate. I actually liked it, even though it was a mess. The show was a train wreck, but in a good way. I don't even think Pierce expected this kind of wreck, if you know what I mean.
Well, it ended up working out for him, right? I mean,
oh, definitely. I mean, I was surprised that he even no shit. I didn't expect that, dude. Like, I did not see that coming because usually Pierce, let's be real. I'm not saying wrestling is second rate, per se, but his show has got a lot of high end, AAA class celebrities. The last thing I would have expected was seeing, Vince Russo, the coach, Charlie Caruso, and Marvin, aka Maven, on the Piers Morgan show. And you know what's even funnier? Maven trying to be all professional. He even had the background, the city background. He came in his suit while everybody else
makeup done.
Oh, dude, he was there. He was there for it, man. He was in the mood, and everyone else had to declass him basically. But I just found those little things kind of funny and interesting. But what was your take overall on it anyway?
Well, most of it was a bunch of nothing, right? And I guess the main thing that everybody's going to be talking about, if they talk about it all, because I was like, oh, Piers Morgan is still a thing. Like when I saw it, I was like, really? So, but that's fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna. I don't want to denigrate him for doing what he does, but yeah, like to me, so me, I'm just gonna be honest about it, regardless. We're on Channel Attitude. Channel Attitude wouldn't exist without Vince Russo.
Absolutely.
But what my takeaway is that regardless of whether Vince has a point or whether he's in the right, so to speak, or whatever, but on the show, he just came off as a raving lunatic because he's got so much heat with Phil all these years, and he doesn't let shit go. Vince does not let shit go. He will not let it go no matter what. So it explodes whenever, because most people don't ever get on anywhere to like for him to like have an outlet like that. So he let all these years of pent up frustration on Phil Mushnick blow over. And he could have perhaps like made all the same points without screaming his head off or whatever, but it didn't end up going that way. So he couldn't get any, you're never going to get anywhere like that. That's why people don't generally respond to his request for like, come on my show, bro, come on my show. Well, they're not going to do that because that's exactly why. You see the first time he gets somebody that he doesn't like in front of him, and this is what happens. Nobody's in the mood for that, and Phil Mushnick certainly wasn't in the mood for it. But like as far as everything else, like how can I sit here and denounce Vince McMahon for being the villain that he is, and then turn around and like, what am I supposed to go against what all of Phil Mushnick's reporting just because I was a wrestling fan in the 90s and he was trying to like tell us what was going on, and like it makes a lot more sense in hindsight now. If you're just some mark watching the Attitude Era and you hear about Phil Mushnick and Vince McMahon talks about Phil Mushnick on the air or in interviews or other things like that, of course, if you're a fan, if you're a mark, you're going to listen to what Vince says, and you're not going to, you're just going to look at this as like, oh, this is just another guy like the PTC that's trying to ruin my wrestling, So
no, you're right.
So like, but ultimately, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't personally care, but I just think that your communication skills, you can get a lot more done diplomatically than just shouting at the top of your lungs. And it didn't help that there was like a huge delay in the internet, so that these guys are like constantly talking over each other because like Phil's internet is like 5 seconds behind. So every time he pauses to listen, and then people think that he's, it's their turn to talk, and then he's waiting for the delay, and then he starts talking, and then they start talking, and it just ends up being a mess because of, I guess we're all those years at the New York Times, you can't afford internet, or maybe you're still on a Spectrum or something like that, and they're screwing up.
Oh, well, to be fair, New York, because of I guess the buildings and all that, would sort of cause a few internet problems, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure it would have an effect, but that's not what we're here for. But what I found absolutely hilarious, and I love Vince for this, right? But when he started broing it, dude, on the Piers Morgan show, I'm like, no way. He's broing it on Piers Morgan's show. I was like, this guy, absolute character, man. But yeah, I mean, it felt like, look, I'm not gonna lie, and maybe I'm wrong, and I probably am, but it came across like Mushnick now is getting up there in age. I feel like he came across at times where he didn't seem to know exactly what was going on. He didn't know who he was talking to half the time. Is that you, Coachman? He's like, but it was Marvin instead. You know what I mean? Or, for example, and I think Russo really rattled him, to be honest, man. Like, I felt like, because the way Russo just jumped on him at the start, and the expression on everyone's faces, especially when they realized that Mushnick was coming on, they're like, nah, no way he did this to us. He totally fucking, worked them all. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I found it funny. But, it was interesting to say the least, even though we already know all this shit. Like, it's nothing new. There was no revelation or anything like that. But for entertainment purposes, it was it was cringy, but in a good way at the same time, if that makes any sense. Like, I was cringing half the time. Half the time I couldn't even look at their faces because I was like, damn, this is just embarrassing in some ways. But I say that with all due respect, though. I mean that in a weird, good way. But that doesn't mean I wasn't sort of cringing though at the same time. But I am proud, for Vince to say what he said. He at least got to say what he did. It rattled him. Everyone had, their points of views. But it's just funny how they went from one extreme, saying about Vince this and that with all the sexual shit, to like it felt like the total opposite. Suddenly they're all sticking up for Vince over, the Mushnik fucking thing, which, say what you will, sometimes I don't believe Coach, especially saying I never saw certain blah blah blah. So come on, Coach, let's be real.
Yeah, I don't buy not for what's well. Why would they kept like Coach Vince both said like I was sitting around Vince McMahon for years and I never heard him say anything about it. It's like, well, why would he say it to you? You're a writer or you're an on-air talent or part of the production. Like, why would he need to why would Vince McMahon tell Vince Russo so-and-so needs to get on steroids? Like, of course he wouldn't say it to you, but it's not like those conversations, bro. Come on. If I was there and I heard those kind of things, don't think that. And Mushnick was right about one thing. It's like when Maven's like saying like, I took it on my own volition. And he's like, yeah. And why's that? Why did you feel like if you didn't need to do it, why did you need to do it? So it's like, yeah, come on. But that it doesn't matter. It just, I think the whole thing was awkward, but it was going to be even more awkward because that damn internet issue, that delay made everything even more awkward than it was. Ooh, damn, spooky season.
Crashing. Did you see that? What the
spooky
fuck,
season?
bro?
Yeah, a ghost pushed it over Jimmy. Ooh.
Yeah, that was bizarre. I'm not gonna lie, that was weird, and it went right up to my fucking mix up. But anyway, forget that. It is spooky season, and shit's falling off my wall. It seems. But let's move on to actual other news, though. But yeah, if anyone hasn't like seen it and whatnot, and you want to be hugely entertained, go
Piers
check it
Morgan
out.
live, free on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And look, I've watched a lot. I like Piers Morgan's interviews generally because he doesn't usually hold back. But yeah, this was interesting to say the least. Apparently in news though, in WWE news, Kevin Owens has re-signed with WWE. Now I don't know, it's not official, but the rumor going around is apparently he has re-signed. I kind of believe it, but I'm kind of surprised too, unless they promised him something, like some sort of main event run of sorts. I'm sure he's gonna have that with Cody.
Oh,
What's
you
your
mean the
take on
main
that?
event run that he's already been having on and off since he got there?
Well, yeah. I mean, he was
okay, look. Wait, let me just stop you right there. Sorry. Nobody has to promise Kevin Owens anything, bro. Okay? Nobody has to he's not in a position to oh, please don't go Kevin Owens. Oh, we promise you'll get a main event. Nah. Come on. What kind of mark would think that?
True. No, that's true. That's true. And plus, right. I mean, really, if you want to be real, is it? I mean, well, WWE would look at it like, well, we've done everything we pretty much can with him. It's not like it would have been a real loss, if he did leave. It wouldn't have even mattered. To be fair, I personally think it just wouldn't have mattered. But
well, they always make it work when people leave. Even if it is a big loss, they still have to make it work. It's not, so.
No, for sure.
But Kevin Owens is a guy. You want a guy like Kevin Owens around because you can always use him for anything. So he's a good signing. And I'm not surprised that he re-signed. I would have been more surprised if he left. But yeah.
Oh, well, that's good anyway. He's staying there. I guess we'll see more of him as per usual. But in other news, and it's been pretty quiet to be fair, but the Motor City Machine Guns make their in-ring debut this past week. I mean, they're on SmackDown. Did they look out of place, man? Sort of. To me, I felt like they kind of looked. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if. I mean, I could be wrong. But does it just feel like two sort of small dudes? Like, they're dressed
compared to what? DIY?
Well, that's true. I mean, I prefer them than DIY, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like Yeah, exactly. When you say DIY, what the fuck am I even talking about now? Like, you're right. You know what I mean? So why am I even saying this? The point is, I just felt like they looked too not. They didn't look like WWE guys. That's all I'm saying. Basically, that's what I'm trying to get at.
It was weird. The thing was weird, and it was partially weird to me because when I watched the kayfabe streams of SmackDown, they like cut out all the machine gun vignettes. Either that, or I just wasn't
Really?
paying attention when they were playing.
It's odd,
But
dude.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, would they have gotten a better reaction if they, it's weird to debut people that you're supposed to know with their old gimmick, but they have a new song, because then the people don't pop.
No one
So
reacted, dude.
I mean, they were reacting, but it just wasn't a pop. It wasn't like the oh my god, the machine guns are here, because they never heard these music with choppers and machine gun sounds and like
Uh,
the sounds of Detroit, I guess. Like I don't know, I don't know what that music was supposed to be, but since nobody's ever heard it before in their entire lives, you can't react to it. So they come out and you're like, I guess those guys are the Motor City Machine Guns that I've heard of for 20 years. If you never watched them, and if you did watch them, you're trying to cheer, but maybe they're just not that over in South Carolina. I don't know if that's their hotbed.
Damn.
Maybe they could have debuted in some place in Michigan if SmackDown was going to Michigan at some point. Might have been better. Also, you're just randomly in a triple threat tag team match, which is not necessarily the way to showcase, because then you got 4 other people minimum that you're like looking at when you're in the arena. Like, think about the people. Like you talk about the reaction. You look at the people in the arena, they got to look at 6 different people. They don't get the camera angles and stuff that we do. So we're like, they're trying to follow the action, and it's more confusing for them. So everything about it was just kind of weird. Zane Vicious says, "What if Kevin Nash introduced them?"
That popped me. I wonder. I mean, you know his thoughts on those guys. It's no secret there, but so that's a good one, Zane. I like it. But yeah, what if Kevin Nash did introduce him? But you're right. Look, the music. I heard there was a lot of piped in. I didn't think of it at the time while watching it, but apparently there was a lot of piped in crowd noise for them coming out. That's what the word is. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
I
Well,
didn't think about it at the time, but yeah.
let's put it this way. People talk about that, like mute stuff being piped in. Maybe it
I
is
hate it
sometimes,
too.
maybe it isn't. But here's the deal.
Right.
If it is, they need to cut it, because you need to know how people really react so that you can adjust your plans accordingly. If people ain't getting reactions, don't try to trick the people at home. Let them hear it. So it is what it is, and get them over. If they're not over, get them over. That's your job. You're the promoters. Get them over. But yeah, I just it was just a kind of a strange sort of thing, but ultimately, it's up to them. I've always, like, in covering TNA and Impact and everything, people that listen to me on there, I referred to Chris Sabin as Goldberg 98 because he just don't do any jobs whatsoever. So, like, I just think to me, it was personally amusing to see, like, the match start and him just get the shit kicked out of him in the corner because he don't sell anything. So I'm like, sweet. He looks like Goldberg 24.
Oh God,
He could barely stand up.
There. Well, nevertheless, I mean, they're both in their mid-40s, I guess, at this point. But nevertheless, congratulations to them. They finally made it to the big, to the big dance. Good luck to them, man. Whatever happens, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. There was a lot of talk also this past weekend on Scott D'Amore's Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show, which apparently was a banger, bro.
He had one. He had it. I've been hearing
I'm
about
pretty
it,
sure,
but I didn't know when it was.
Right.
He's been doing such a good job promoting it. I had no idea when it was going to be, but I guess it just happened.
Well, yeah, apparently it did, and it's gotten a lot of positive feedback. I haven't watched it. It was on pay-per-view, so-called pay-per-view. Apparently, it was a great show, but it feels like it's this is the Mark Tard of Mark Tard's type of dream. Like, people. Takeshita was on there wrestling someone from another promotion. I don't know, making a big deal out of that. I don't know who was on
Was
there
it
and
Josh
who won.
Alexander?
Oh, it might have been.
I know Josh was supposed to wrestle somebody on it. I don't remember who, but that might have been it.
Well, I'm pretty sure it probably was it, and it was real. It was talked up like a co-promotional type of deal. I'm pretty sure Takeshita did win.
Was the international title on the line?
I have no idea, man. It might have been, but I'm not sure because I haven't watched it to know that. But you never know. It would be funny if it was.
All right.
But moving I need to look into it more so. But yeah.
Moving on.
There's not really much news. There really isn't, dude.
Hey. So we lucked out?
Sorry?
So we lucked out? We don't have to talk about it?
No, there's really nothing to talk about, dude. Like, I mean, apparently, for example, TNA news, Jai Vidal reportedly granted release from TNA. I mean, I don't even really know who the fuck is that.
Not Jai Vidal, the guy that only ever did shows when they came to Las Vegas where he lives.
Really? I've never heard of the guy. I mean, who is he?
He was like a guy who he was with Giselle Shaw sometimes, and she's gone because she works for Maple Leaf Wrestling now because she's Scott D'Amore's, girlfriend or wife or whatever. And he was like a Rico Constantino is what he was like.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Rico is much better than that, I imagine. But yeah, whatever. He got his release granted to him. Cool. But other than that, dude, there really isn't much more to say about the news. Been kind of quiet in terms of news in professional wrestling. Unfortunately, this week it is what it is. So that means I think we should start sifting through the Wreckage because, to be fair, there was just an overblown amount of shows. I didn't even realize about the Battle of the Belts show, as I was telling you off the air. Like, honestly, dude, I watched Dynamite. They didn't say boo about it until the end of the fucking show. Like, literally, that was the first time of the graphic of Battle of the Belts 15 came up. At the very end, they were promoting, Collision. They're promoting the week after next week's Dynamite. Over and over and over and over and over. But Battle of the Belts, like, I feel like these companies, they don't even really care about that show. But, they have to do it for contract reasons, I guess, right? But nevertheless, they need to do more with their promotion shit. I need to know this shit properly, not just one little graphic at the end. You know what I mean? You just don't hear about it. There's nothing to really, like, no one's talking about it. No one seems to care. But in saying that, this Dynamite, I just want to point one thing out there. This didn't feel like a normal Dynamite, as weird as this sounds. Did this feel very WWE, or am I tripping?
Well, we got new owners, Jimmy, so obviously things are going to be different.
Oh, yes, we do. We do, but I could have sworn this new owner reminds me of an old, like, they don't work for me, brother. But more so maybe Kevin Nash-esque.
Well,
we should
it's funny you say
Nash
that.
From now on.
It's funny you say that. Segue. Because this Dynamite opens with the new owner's promo where Jon Moxley literally says, "You work for me now," referring to everybody in the company. So not only does it work for him, you definitely literally work for him now. He's the boss.
Yeah.
Tony Khan has nothing to say about this. Like,
nothing.
Nothing at all.
Doesn't exist, dude. Where is he?
Right.
Where's the boss, man? The real boss, supposedly. So this group now is no BCC anymore, I assume, right? It's the new owners. So are we going to get like this Hollywood Hogan reveal eventually, sort of thing, if you know what I mean? Is that what we're leading?
I don't know. I mean, I think
Bash at the
maybe
Creek,
Moxley is
AEW
the Hollywood Hogan.
I think we're going to get a Hollywood Hogan-esque type of reveal. And it's not going to be Bash at the Beach, but Bash at the Creek.
Bash at the Creek.
See what I did there? Bash at the Creek.
Didn't they have a beach themed Dynamite name? I know.
Beach
Look,
break.
why are we even asking? Zane Vicious is going to
Beach
tell
break,
me
of
anyway,
course.
so I'm not even going to take a guess at it. If I guess at it and you guess at it, he'll correct me.
Dude,
So let's just ask Zane Vicious, what is it? What's their beach themed Dynamite show?
it is beach break. I know that 100%. And I'll never forget that when they had a
You
beach
mean
break
Orange
in
Cassidy's
Cleveland,
sub
Ohio.
finisher?
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah. Actually, speaking of Orange, I'll get to that when there, but I noticed something that I didn't click on until this past week. But yeah, the new owners are in the house. Apparently, they're running the house now. I was waiting for Rey Mysterio to turn up and get thrown like a lawn dart into a temporary friggin' portable fucking you know room or whatever you want to call them. But unfortunately we didn't get that happening. But please tell us more about this new ownership.
Well, I mean, that's basically he just cuts the same promo they've been doing, except I don't think this one had ominous music under it. I think it was a little different. It wasn't like cinematic, but he did say you work for me now, regardless, and that was what I took away from that. So I just thought it was funny because I'm the one that gave him the name, the new owners, and now
Oh
he's
no.
really taking it to heart.
Well, I don't believe
Next,
in coincidences there, though. Just quietly, do you think they might have listened to the show again? It's happening one too many times, dude.
if they have any taste, they would listen to the best in the world and all the shows that I do. I mean, if they want to learn, but anyway, next, Jimmy, it's all about the boom.
Oh
Adam
God, this
Cole,
pissed me
baby.
off.
He comes out. And then I was like, oh yeah, he was the devil. I had completely forgotten. I had completely forgotten that. He was the devil. And now he's back like he's some hero that's returning. And we're supposed to be like, yay, Adam Cole.
Dude, the devil. This is the dumbest fucking. They shouldn't even go ahead with this feud, dude. I'm sorry. Like, it's you know what this does? This alienates the fan base bad. And if you noticed during his promo, did you notice the crowd were even like weren't sure like how to react to certain shit? Because we all know the bad guy in this fucking storyline is Adam fucking Cole. It's not actually MJF,
Right. Yeah,
ironically.
just because
You know
just
what I mean?
because MJF turned bad again, does that make Adam Cole a hero? Why would it be?
So dumb,
And where's
bro.
where's the
Like,
group? Like
yeah,
they've all moved
where's the
on.
group? Where's the devil's helpers, whatever the fuck they were, the mask, the kingdom,
Yeah,
whatever.
it was it was
What
it was
happened to
it
them?
let's who was it? It was Undisputed Kingdom, right?
Right, yeah,
And
that's
Brian
it.
Cage or
Oh,
no,
maybe
Wardlow,
I
Wardlow.
do
I'm
recall.
thinking of another
Oh
useless
yeah,
Jack
Wardlow,
guy.
Wardlow, you're right.
Yeah, I'm
No, you're
sorry.
right, Wardlow was. And where's
So
he?
he died. He actually died.
Legit, he's dead, like gone.
Yeah, so but anyway,
That's funny.
you got Adam Cole turned heel on MJF,
Mm-hmm.
and that was after he had broke his foot randomly on a freak accident. And then he had to hobble around for a while pretending to still be MJF's friend, and then he turns on him. They do the whole reveal and everything like that. And then MJF comes back, gets his revenge. Then he turns heel on Daniel Garcia. We haven't seen Adam Cole. Adam Cole comes back, and we're supposed to just forget that the last time we saw him, that not only was he the devil, but he got the shit kicked out of him by MJF. So very confusing stuff. I don't.
Long-term storytelling, clearly.
Yeah, I'm just not. But anyway, MJF. Speaking of him, he answers Adam Cole, who, by the way, real quick, I'll just ask you a question, and I'll ask the chat too. You guys can post your answers too to this question. It's not a rhetorical question. Adam Cole cuts this promo. Do you think he comes off, even though he's supposed to be a babyface, do you think he comes off as a babyface, like heroic, or does he come off kind of like a heel?
At first, when he first came out, it was very much babyface. But by the end of that promo, he
Mm-hmm.
came across as the heel, man. Even by his mannerisms and just everything. He didn't even do the Adam Cole baby part. Definitely. Now, this is what I'm confused about. Are they trying to like double turn here? Is this what they're going? Or was Cole
Double
realizing
double.
the garbage? Like, what else can I call it? Might as well call it
I'd
the
rather
AEW
get
double turn.
this is a double from KFC is what this is because it's greasy and
It's
it's gonna give you the
KFC.
shits.
It's definitely going to give you the shit, and it's definitely greasy. My point is though, the double. Now the score is going to be in my head.
The double
By the end
down.
of it, I
Sorry,
felt
before
like
Zane Vicious comes in, it's called the double down. But I just
the double down. It's a double down. I'm more like it. But the point is, I felt like now I just don't think this is storyline. I truly think Cole is probably kind of because the thing is, if you and I, right, well, MJF and Adam Cole, for example, and Tony Khan is sitting here, writing out what's going to happen. I'm not an idiot. I don't know these guys personally, but surely one of us is going to be like, but this doesn't make sense. Like, how is he the baby face now and I'm the heel when I'm the one that fucking trusted him? Like, you know what I mean? For example, and he turned on me and blah, blah, blah. But we're supposed to suddenly go the other way around? Like,
yeah.
suddenly we're going to have to fucking, it doesn't make sense. I think Cole looked frustrated by the end of it.
Um, he probably doesn't know what he's talking about anymore. I think that I've called for a moratorium on turns in professional wrestling across the board. Like I've said years ago, like, okay, everybody in every wrestling promotion, you need to just be what you are for like 5 years. Stop until you figure out who you are now. Don't try to turn to something else. Don't try to turn on your partner. Don't try to turn on
Right.
your friend. Don't try to turn randomly. Don't try to turn on the people and give them the same speech that they all give, which you never had my back. Okay, sure. No one ever had your back. That's why they bought all your shirts and cheered for you and everything, but they never had your back. Just shut the fuck up. Everybody has the exact same promo every time they do it and it never makes any sense. So I've been
Right.
saying that for a long time, but whatever. And John Enright makes a great point. Shout out to John Enright. He says, Cole can't be a face. I mean, that's all he needs to say. The man is too unlikable. You know? The only reason anybody ever liked him is because he's such a little bitch ass heel that he does a good job at being a bitch ass heel. And then people end up liking that because he's doing a good job, not because they're genuinely hating him. So I think that's one of the big false positives in pro wrestling is when fans who are just like, this is all fake anyway, so I'm just going to cheer for anything that entertains me, whether it's a heel, babyface, whatever, comedy act. They all cheer for whatever's entertaining and they don't care what they're supposed to do or what they're meant to do. And then people take that, wrestling promoters take that and be like, well, we got to turn him babyface because the people are cheering. Like, or do you? Just try being the character you are, and if people want to pay to see that, then good, you get the money either way. So
Spot
anyway, but speaking of MJF, he does answer Adam Cole, but with a video. He comes on the video wall and he basically says, which I did like this, he basically says, I will never get in the ring with you, Adam Cole. Like he's telling people like, nope, not going to have a match. Never going to get in the ring with you. You fucked me over. Bye-bye. Like, we're done. I already, basically, which that is what MJF would say were he a real person. So I like that aspect of it. It's just that much like everything that I keep making the analogy of, even if you're eating your filet mignon, if you're eating it in a bathroom stall, it's not as delicious as it could be, right? So
Eesh, not in a bathroom stall, that's for sure, dude. Come on. But it was obviously pre-taped. Cole didn't even interject, you know what I mean? Just let him say whatever. And then that's when he had the boo-boo face suddenly, it looked like. Like just suddenly he just had boo-boo face and then walked off, and that was the end of the segment. And boy, did it was just alienating, dude. This is how you alienate your fans. The fans didn't know how to react to half this shit, which is funny to me. But that's on them. That's on you, Tony. You want to fucking play stupid booker and don't know what you're doing? This is what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I feel bad for both Cole and MJF. But if anyone can move around all this bullshit, it's probably MJF. You know what I mean?
He's
So it
trying,
is what
but
it
he's
is.
shown that it's a little too much for him to handle. I think that people give Tony Khan a lot of shit because they say all he does is book wrestling matches that are long, and I wish that's all he did.
I
Unfortunately,
wish. I
I
wish. That's why I
wish
said
if
this
that was all he
WWE
did,
show.
this would be a lot easier to take. It'd be like, well, I know it's just a bunch of long wrestling matches, but no, there's a lot of him trying to do things that aren't wrestling matches, and that is why a lot of this is struggling to take hold, in
Right.
a sense, to catch fire. You know, like WWE was having the same problem where they just did whatever they felt like. But recently, within the past, 9 months or whatever, they've really caught fire. Uh, AEW could easily catch fire, but it's going to be harder because they're just not WWE. That's the biggest hurdle that they faced. I've said it. But like, besides that, this stuff isn't going to help catch fire. It's just getting the matches wet. So
Yeah.
anyway, Renee is with Jericho after the Wrestle Dream match. So I guess this took place at Wrestle Dream, and Jericho wants a rematch. So
Why
that
didn't we get this last week?
because we didn't have time for it last week. Wrestle Dream was already too long. So, anyways, now we're live on Dynamite. Renee is with Mark Briscoe saying, "Hey, Jericho wants a rematch, Mark Briscoe." And Mark Briscoe says, "You can have your rematch next week, but it's going to be ladder war, baby." So, for no reason,
What is a ladder war, bro? What's a ladder
Well, it's
war?
like a
Just
ladder match, except you say war instead of match.
Well,
And
that's
you have
hard,
lots of
man.
ladders. But I think people don't realize that if you're saying ladder war, I think in Ring of Honor they used to have ladder war and it would be like all these ladders in there. But even when it's just a regular ladder match, there's always like 20 ladders. So it really doesn't make a difference what
Right.
you call it. You're going to pull
Yeah.
out 20 ladders regardless, no matter how many people are in the match or how many belts are on the line or whatever.
And just quietly for the listeners, I'm being sarcastic. Obviously, I know what a ladder war bullshit is. It's just a ladder match, but I'm just saying as a joke because they call it a ladder wars. You know what I mean? Woo! Whatever that's supposed to be. But the thing is, I don't even know why we're still going. I've got a bad feeling about this too. I
Jericho's
just
going
got
to
a
win, isn't
feeling
he?
he's
Isn't he
gonna
just going to win?
fucking win,
Yeah.
bro. He's gonna win. You know it.
This is
I
part
know
of
it.
his.
Everyone knows it. Yep. If you're gonna
You
get
win
the
the
win on
first
me on
one, and
pay per
I'll
view,
win the rematch.
exactly, exactly, bro. That's how
And
he
then you can
works.
win the third match, and you can get your belt back or whatever. Like you could be a 2-time Ring of Honor champion. Like that's how he sells it. Like whatever. Who cares? Let's just wait and see. But anyway, also before Mark Briscoe gets out of here, he makes sure to hype FTR's match because Lord knows they can't do it. So
And
next
they
is
did.
FTR versus the Tree Branches.
Oh,
And of course you know who that is. And
oh yeah.
FTR goes over. And the Outrunners are moreover. So
Way more over, man. What are they calling themselves? The FT Outrunners? Is that what the thing is now?
yeah, I don't know. It's
Dude, when they done
they
the
latch
figure, the
themselves to
Tango and
this
Cash,
like I think Hollywood Axe Axon and Cash Cashin have learned from Jericho to like leech on to the people that are getting over, not you,
that's it.
and try to
Yep.
do what they can to suck them dry before you move on to the next hot thing.
God, yeah, and it cringes me, dude. It makes me not stand FTR even more. You know what I mean? Because they're playing the game. Fuck it, they're just like, let's get over on other people's back. And the thing is, the outrunners every week are getting so more over, more over, more over, more over, and I love it, man. I'm so happy for those guys because it took so long to get to this point for them, and they finally got here. You know what I mean? So I couldn't be, any happier. I just feel like, would it be cool if you add like a female '80s type of manager to them? Do you think that would work? I could see that for some reason.
They did have one. I don't know where she went.
Wait, they did? They did? Really? I don't even remember at this point. Damn.
Yeah, what was her
So they
name?
actually had
Zane, what
one.
was her name? Just Zane? Come on, Zane. Zane, wake up. Put her name in the chat, Zane.
And what, she just disappeared? That I didn't even notice anymore?
Yeah, it's whatever.
Subconsciously, it's obviously there for me to say that, right? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's
All
actually
right.
there, but
Well, while we're
cool.
waiting for the answer, Renee is with the Acclaimed, And
Wendy
MVP.
Richter, by the way.
That's not Wendy Richter. Shut up. Shut up, Zane. I actually need your help. Wendy Richter.
We're going back to the 80s, literally. Like
it's not. Yeah, it's not that. I'm just. My mind's going blank on it. That's all. I would love to tell you her name. She had frizzy hair. Something. Whatever. Who cares? Move on. MVP and Shelton interrupt the Acclaim. That's great. Then we get CEO versus the Queen, based on a previous run-in, apparently. So
yeah, what's up with this? Wasn't the
know.
Queen feuding with God, gone blank
Serena?
Again. With Serena, yeah. What happened to that? Are we just gonna pretend that never happened?
Yeah, it's over. They settled it. They settled it and shook hands. All right, so now it's Mercedes wanting to have a good match, so she's like, "Hey, what about Queen Aminata? Here you go." I wrote a note that's like, everybody just smacks Camille around now, huh? Like, first Emi Sakura goes out there and is just like, I cannot believe Camille let her. Erica Lee, thank you, Scott Woodford, the most handsome man in all of HMG. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, by the way, Scott. Just quietly for this past week, man. So I'm just putting it out there. Say happy birthday to Scotty, everybody.
Yeah.
God damn it. But anyway, continue on. Yeah,
he's
thanks,
giving
Scott.
us presents, and we're
exactly.
All right,
Erica Lee, there you go.
So yeah, so Emi Sakura like rams her head into the barricade like 20 times last week, and then this week, Queen Aminata's just like fuck you, and just like, pushes Camille around. Like, what good is having a bodyguard if she just gets smacked around by like the lower part of the card?
She's useless, bro. She's useless. I don't know. She can't even talk. See the way she talks. I don't even understand it, dude. Like, talk up a little bit. Like, stop. Like, it's like she's mumbling.
Who are you talking about now?
I'm talking about friggin' Diesel.
Diesel? Well, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. Anyways, CEO hits the statement maker, or she puts on the statement maker, and Queen Aminata taps out. So no post match. That's it. She just beats Queen Aminata. Nice try, kid. Maybe next time. We're talking about Mercedes money.
Oh, did you hear Justin Roberts? You know how lately, I don't know if he's trolling people. Like I said, he called. I don't know, and I'm surprised no one's spoken about this other than I brought it up last week. He called Ricochet on pay-per-view, by the way. Go back and listen to when he actually announced him. I laughed because I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to D, and I heard it. We both heard it in the back, and we both turned around like, "Did you just say Ricochet?" I kid you not, he did, right? But there was no one he didn't react. He didn't sell it, right? This time he called Monet money, just money. You know what I mean? Like, instead of money, you know what I mean? I'm like, why is he fucking? He knows better than that. Why is he calling her money? Just money. She's not money. She's money. Like, So I don't know what's up with him lately, but I find him kind of odd, very odd lately, man. But whatever.
Yeah, get with it, Justin Roberts. Before we find another use for that necktie again, you son of a bitch.
He's gone weird, dude. I don't know if he's trolling. I don't know, man. It's weird, but like I said,
we have zero time to dedicate to Justin Roberts on this show.
Yeah,
Renee is with Private Party and the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks are like, sorry guys, no rematch. And then Stokely Hathaway comes by to rub it in, like, yeah, guys, no rematch. Should have got with me. Okay. And then they show Okada with the other bums that he hangs out with. And they have like a birthday cake for Kenny Omega. And because he had diverticulitis, they dumped a bunch of guts on his birthday cake. So
that's yuck, man. I didn't expect that. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect guts and shit, intestines all over the place. But yeah, that's exactly what we got. Nevertheless, happy birthday to Kenny Omega. Turned 41. Can you believe that? That's crazy, bro.
Yes, I can. The conglomeration versus the EVPs. And this match goes on for a little while, but then the new owners attack. They attack the Glom. They don't attack the EVPs. They go right past the people that actually run the company, even though they say they run the company. And they just attack the conglomeration, which are like a sort of like a joke faction. Because... So it's like, okay, if you're trying to be heels and you're picking on all like the supposedly weakest people, I guess this is good. But Then Top Action comes out and tries to save, and they get their ass kicked. Then the Dark Order runs down and tries to save, and Moxley actually lets Uno punch him in the corner repeatedly. I was like, I've never seen him sell this much in his entire career up till now, but you're going to let this guy come in and you're going to sell for him? Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
There's only one thing missing, though, Vet. We needed Sting come from the rafters. It would have been, and then DDP came running out too. That would have just been the cherry on top for me, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's just you. So they, like I said, they ignore the Elite. I mean, Okada and the Bucks are just standing on the ramp, like watching them, everybody else in the company get beaten up. I mean, no stars, just everybody else in the company are getting beaten up. Like nobody good is out here getting beat up. No Ricochet, no.
And they're complaining, right? Exactly.
Yeah, none of those guys. They're not coming out. So yeah,
the heels, they're meant to not do anything. You know what I mean? These people don't understand. Why are they going to help out all these jobbers anyway?
Yeah, exactly. So Garcia and Private Party are backstage, and they take exception to this as they see the Bucks go by. They're like, "What the fuck's wrong with you guys? Why didn't you do something?" And they're like, and leave. And then we get to Lio Rush versus Shelton Benjamin.
If there was a time to say crikey, this is it. Oh my God, dude. I mean, this is a beating.
Is a beating. So I was I was excited to see this in a way because it's like, hey, it's Shelton Benjamin. Oh, snap.
I was looking forward to it too.
Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, I want to see this guy.
Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, I miss him. And then when he was like, when he was throwing Lio Rush around, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Now, I wouldn't have used Lio Rush for this, but I get it. Like they wanted him to. They know he could sell for Shelton probably as well as anybody could. But
definitely.
Yeah, but then the match went like 3 times longer than it should have. Is the problem with it? So I get it.
By the end of the match, too, dude.
It just wasn't. It wasn't good to go this long. It would have been good if this were like a featured match, but it wasn't. It was just like, okay, we're just putting this out there, and we already know what the outcome is going to be. And yet you're doing like a 10-minute competitive deal here. And so like there were parts of it that were quite fun to watch, but then it didn't need to be all that. It just didn't.
And was the finish kind of botched a little bit? There was something off about the finish, dude. It seemed.
I think I don't remember now. I remember thinking at the time like probably similar to what you're thinking. I just don't remember what it was now. But there was just no rhythm to this. Like this should have been like, I don't know. It should have been a little bit. And again, this is why I wouldn't use Lio Rush. I would have used one of these tiny guys from Ring of Honor, like John Cruz, who we'll see later. But like, I would have just took him, had him try to hurt Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton just walk through everything and beat him in 2 moves. Just something like that. Like if that's what you want to do, then yeah. Or if you're going to use Lio Rush, I would have had Lio Rush get all his shit in at the very beginning and then get shut down and beat in 4 moves. Something like that. But there's no rhythm to this. It just went long, and it felt like the kind of match that the ref was like adding time as they went, like 2 more minutes. It's like, oh shit, now I got to do stuff. I was getting ready to take it home. Now I got to do 2 more minutes. Like that's what I'm not saying that's what happened, but that's how matches end up looking when that does happen. And you got a guy like Shelton who he can adjust to that, but it's not going to be good, right? Because it's too on the fly. So
can you believe he's turning 50 next year? Shelton Benjamin, look at him, dude. He looks jacked. I mean, he's always been jacked, but he looks more jacked than ever, man.
I'll put it to you like this, dude. I've been waiting for Shelton to be a star for 22 years.
Wow, it's true.
And after tonight, or tonight being Dynamite,
Right. I get you.
he's still not a star that he could be. Like, I've been seeing
Damn
it in him for that long, and nobody sees it. WWE does not see it, and there were times when you would think they see it, and then they don't see
There
it.
was a time, right?
There was a time when it's like you see it, and then they're like, give him a mom. Like they'll just screw it up.
God.
They'll just screw it up somehow. And
yeah,
I was like,
shame.
okay, here's his moment. He can finally look like the mega star that he's supposed to be. And then he goes out and has a 2-long match with a guy that he could have eaten for breakfast that morning. And again, I love Leo Rush. It's not his spot. These guys should be at separate deals right now.
Right.
So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm glad for Shelton. I'm glad he's getting paid. We deserve to see him on TV. I just was hoping, like, okay, here he can finally be at the pun intended, but not really as a pun, elite. He can be the elite.
The gold standard, the real gold standard too.
That's right.
AEW.
Ain't no stopping him. Nah.
But exactly. That's you make me laugh. You made D laugh too by saying that. Just quite okay. You remember the song. Who doesn't remember the theme?
So anyway, they want to finish the conversation with Swerve. Basically, is what MVP says when he gets on the mic after this match. Shell wins with his like power slam thing or whatever, just in case anybody wondered. But yeah, he just says, I want to finish the conversation. So maybe that. Then we get to see Darby and Tony Hawk hanging out. Pretty good. Maybe Darby he's working on his guest unlockable appearance in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 7 or whatever they're up to now.
Cool, man. I'm actually thinking about buying the 10x4 autograph thing. I mean, it's Darby and Tony Hawk. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And plus it's for a good cause. I'll say that.
Yeah, what was it called? Like skate parks for freedom or something?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's basically
it wasn't that. It wasn't what I said. Trust me.
No. It was but I will elaborate. Basically what they're doing is they're building skate parks in places, less privileged places. And that's where all the money is going to. So if you buy one of those,
let all the poor kids break all their bones and go to the hospital with bills they can't pay. Yes, it's a good cause. Renee is with Swerve and Nana, and Swerve accepts the conversation. He says, "I will talk to you, gentlemen." Well, saying.
He probably wasn't even there.
We can't go to the ring for this because we have a special press conference now. Don Callis called a special press conference. And he took a shot at the wrestling media because he said there are no real journalists in professional wrestling media. So that was funny. But yeah, so it's him and he's basically saying, look, he's got his whole family there, which is Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Takeshita, and Fletcher. And so he's got all the guys there, and he's basically saying, hey, we're taking over. There's a lot of people that are just taking over. I wonder how the new owners feel about this special press conference. Did he have to run it by them? Because
not just that. How many factions are around now suddenly? And they're all heels, except for 2 babyface factions, if you want to call them that. Everyone else, all heels, bro. And it's just dumb. Where we go? Are we going to? We'll get to the murder machine, John. Don't worry. We'll get there.
He's so excited. John's so excited. This is how you know Lance Archer's serious. He undid the braids now. He just has long, wet hair now. There's no more braiding.
I'm getting Vance Archer vibes, by the way, at this point. I'm not kidding. That's how... Anyway, continue. I'll get there.
We're done with this. Renee and Mariah are backstage. And Anna Jay comes in, and she is... the most awkward human I think I've ever seen.
Hell, bro.
She goes to slap Mariah May, and Mariah ducks, and Christopher Daniels gets hit. But like when Anna Jay, who, remember, she's been to Japan now, so she's totally legit. When she swung to slap Mariah May, she like it looked like she's stiffened her arm and just like swung her entire body like in one stiff motion. Like completely unnatural, like nobody would ever slap somebody. No wrist motion, no elbow, no
It
just
was bad.
I'm just gonna stick my arm out and hit you like a sprinkler.
Like a sprinkler. How do you do that? That's interesting. Like a
Ask
sprinkler.
Anna
Yeah,
J.
well, yeah. I mean, clearly, she hasn't learned much since her time in Japan, right? I mean, for some reason, it didn't feel like she was there for that long. I wouldn't be surprised if she was at Stardom, right? If they were like, send her home now, just send her home. She's not learning. She's just useless. Just she's all looks. That's it. Send her back, and here she is, man. I mean, she has improved, but to be fair, you know, little by little, she's
Not
improving
really.
just slightly, very slightly, but
Not really.
she's still pretty green as green grass. So it is what it is.
All right. Well, Renee is she's busy, dude. Renee was like, she must have been teleporting places like to get all these interviews and scoops and stuff. So she's now with Ricochet, and Ricochet's like, I got an open challenge for Collision. Anybody wants to step up, get collided, and I'm out of this world. So
Literally, like, well, we'll get to that because I was very disappointed in some
right,
ways. But anyway, we'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there. New owners are fighting the bottom of the card again backstage. Like they just won't leave these guys alone. They're just trying to get their ham sandwich from the catering area, and here comes John Moxley, like Fireman Fred, just all over the place, rubbing his weird wet chest hair all over people, and just
he's real greasy too these days. Like he looks very
right.
It's weird, man.
And then as soon as they start fighting back a little bit, they get run off and they get in the truck and run and drive away.
Like a bunch of freaking bandits, dude. They remind me of like the Taliban or some shit driving off. Like, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah. And so anyway, because they got in the truck and drove off, they missed Evil Uno, Dante Martin, and Action Andretti cutting a promo. So they missed that triple threat of promo action like after they left. Yeah. You think they're going to go back to Dynamite and watch the replay and hear this promo?
Probably.
I mean, they do own the company after all.
Right. They're probably watching it as they're leaving. But you know how stupid that made the baby faces look here?
Yes.
They just got their asses handed to them. And then they get on the mic. I'm going to fuck you up, Moxley.
Well, obviously,
blah, blah, blah.
I mean, obviously they were on top when the guys got in the truck and drove away. So,
really,
I mean, they won the battle at that time, but that's the thing. I just think it's interesting that, if Moxley and crew hate Dark Order and Top Flight and all these guys on Private Party so much, then why don't they just fire them? They own the company now. They said so. They said you all work for me. And they could have said, except you 10 guys, you're fired.
I'm gonna go way out there. This is way out there. More than likely, it's not gonna happen, right? But I'm gonna put it out there because I want to see your reaction, so you can roll your eyes. Could it be possible that Tony Khan is the brains behind this ownership group, and we get Tony Bischoff
Evil Tony
happening? Evil Tony Bischoff,
Dark Tony
with a leather jacket and everything. Yeah.
No chance.
You don't think so? It's way past his pay grade. He just wouldn't do it.
Tony Khan promised me that he would never do that, and he better live up to at least one of his promises.
Well, I don't know. Just don't be surprised if that does happen.
I will be.
And he comes out to a song saying "I'm bad," or "I'm back." Sorry, not "I'm bad," but change it to "I'm bad" instead
It'll
of
come
"I'm
out
back."
to Michael Jackson's "Bad."
That would pop me.
How much would that cost? Holy shit! All right, enough fucking around. It's time for the best part of the show. Jay White.
Yeah.
Jay White. Main event. Jay White. He can cut a promo without stuttering all over himself.
Absolutely, dude. You know what I love about him too? Just before we get into the matchup, you can pair him with anybody and it just works. Because look at the guys around him, right? They're nothing like Jay White, really, right? They're a bunch of douches. Jay White is a douche, but not like that, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? He's way more grounded. Doesn't he's not one of those. He's not up to shenanigans all the time. He's like the leader of the group. But you can have all these idiots around him, and it still works because that's how good he is, dude. You know what I mean?
Well, we get Jay White versus Jay Riso in our main event. Um, the Bullet Club gets ejected.
Good point.
But they do drag Nick Wayne by the legs with them.
I like that.
If we're doing this, and then his mom follows, it's like, let go of my son, let go of him.
Yeah, but she wasn't even running, dude. She was just like not even power walking. Just like, yeah, just my son.
Stop it. Hey, don't do that.
Stop. Let me just catch up. I'm not really. I don't care. Take him. That's what came across, dude.
I'm the biggest person in this faction.
She is.
The biggest non-pneumonia person in the faction.
Oh, shit.
So Jay White, you just, I know Aaron's like he's dead, but it's fine. You just a la carte, you just accept. Cool. You just accept Jay White in a vacuum. You figure you get a main event Jay White match. Just enjoy the match. Don't think about the booking. Don't think about anything else. Just enjoy Jay White painting his masterpiece on the canvas, trying to drag this 50-year-old man through this shit. And you really see that. But
you do
of course,
see that, actually.
The match is good, but of course, it couldn't just be a good match because something I have never seen before happened in this match, which was hilarious. And I didn't even know what I was looking at until I saw what eventually happened. Because the first thing you see, right? Okay, here goes the match. And then Kip Sabian jumps up on the apron. Okay? Then you see Hangman jump up. And then...
I hated these. Right, yeah.
Just calm down, Jimmy. Then
I forgot about it for a second, right, yeah.
Then Hangman jumps back down and doesn't do anything, and he just lays on the floor. And I was like,
fucking idiot.
What the hell was that supposed to be? What the hell are these idiots doing? Frozen. Right.
Like a dead
and
fish.
Then, yes. And then the match goes for like 2 or 3 more minutes. Then Kip Sabian jumps up again. And then Hangman does the spot he was supposed to do. Somehow Kip Sabian fucking missed his cue and went early to do his how on earth did this man go 2 minutes early for his distraction spot? Like, did somebody in the back sent him out and was like, go, go, go. And then they were like, oh shit, it's not time. So he goes out and Hangman sees it and he goes out. Then he has to lay on the floor for 2 minutes.
How bad is that?
He must have felt like the most embarrassed he's ever felt in his life. And remember, there's a man that wore butterfly jeans on television.
Yeah.
And he's just laying there like, and the camera looks at him laying there because it's not time for that yet.
Right. And it's just that, it felt like forever, like the camera was just on him. And he's just like frozen, dude. Like, man, it was awkward, bro.
Yes.
It was bad. It was very
so not
bad.
only did they go early, but instead of just taking it home, they had to go the rest of the 2 to 3 minutes or whatever, and then they just repeat the spot, which is Kip Sabian jumps up for the distraction, the referee goes after him, then Hangman hits the buckshot lariat, and then Christian.
I hate the fact that
he gets the steal. He steals the win now because of Hangman.
Yeah, this is just bad in every friggin' way. And Mr. Sam Michael, yes, that wrestler you're talking about, he's still in AEW, as a matter of fact. Well, Sam Michael of
why are you putting that over? Take that shit down.
Is that George Michaels in your profile picture? But anyway, the point is, this was just bad all over the place. It was cringe. I felt bad for everyone involved in this. I don't know whose fault it was. I mean, did the wrestlers really screw this up, you think? Or was it the people that cued him to go out there that really fucked it up?
I don't know. It's possible. Either one is possible, or both.
Cold-blooded. Hangman doing his best impersonation of a hot dog. Oh, it was fucking shit. But that was Dynamite. And just quietly before we move on to the next one, this show, when I remember I felt like WWE, it was mostly all promos, dude. I've never seen a Dynamite that had that many promos until this one, funny enough. I mean, how many matches were
A lot
there
of,
on there?
lot of Renee
3?
on this show.
Yeah, a lot of bucks too. Maybe 4 matches. I think there was 4 matches all up, which is odd. They never have that many promos throughout the whole show, but here we are. We did get all that. And a loss for Jay White, which bothers me. Stop doing this 50-50 booking on him, vet. They got to stop doing that. Every time he gets a win, he has to lose the next week or whatever, whenever he has another match. I hate that. But it is what it is.
Well, we get Rampage now.
Woo! Yeah. Rampage, baby.
This is Rampage, baby. Mark Briscoe versus the Butcher. That's
Woo-ho!
exactly what you want to see, right?
Oh,
I'll accept my one half of this a la carte menu. Not
Only
for
half,
10 minutes,
but only
though.
half.
Didn't really want it to go for 10 minutes because the Butcher can't do 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's
But
done, dude. I feel like he's just so done. I don't know if it's just him, he's not motivated anymore, or he's just done. His body's just, he's looking out of shape too. Whatever, man.
It's just, whatever. Mark Briscoe. So next match is Kyle O'Reilly, and he's coming out, and they give the old the conglomeration give the old dap. They dap each other up in passing, and Kyle comes down, and then his opponent is Aaron Solo because they're in San Jose, so they're like, "Hey, you live here, come on over."
He's back.
He's back.
Well,
And then and then he gets choked out by Kyle O'Reilly. So welcome back, Aaron.
of course he did.
He gets choked out with a guillotine choke, and then Kyle O'Reilly gets on the mic. And he's like, "Hey, Okada, I want to challenge you." So there you go. Then Renee is with Jamie Hayter, and Jamie Hayter's like, "I'll be at Collision." Okay, great job. Then
cool.
yeah, we get Deanna in the dark, doing a promo.
Deanna in the dark.
Dark, not dark Deanna, but Deanna in the dark.
In the dark, right? Exactly.
It's different. Yeah, they don't have the lights on. I don't know if they're trying to have an ambiance or if they just didn't pay the bill. But either way, it's her and Taya sitting in the dark room, and maybe they're developing photos. Who knows?
Maybe they are.
Maybe they are. And then Anna Jay takes on Trish Adora, and Mariah May sits on commentary. Guess who won?
I wonder. Anna Jay?
She did.
Woohoo! But who cares really is the answer, like Aaron Ben Shlomo says.
There you go. Renee and Harley backstage, and Harley says a bunch of stuff, and she calls herself the woman-trepreneur.
Oh, very classy.
Woman-trepreneur. Yep.
I mean, I got to stop with these big words on AEW television, vet.
Yeah. Don't invent words. How dare you? And she spoke Chinese.
Oh, ni hao.
She was trying to, show how versatile she is. But whenever she gets out there, she just has long matches and bites her thumb. So I don't know how it's speaking Chinese or being a woman entrepreneur is going to change that. But anyway, we get 3 promos back to back to back. Undisputed Kingdom, Shane Taylor Promotions, and Gates of Agony.
Oh, that's a promo.
Yeah, we're going to have a triple threat match in the future with these guys. Triple threat tag team match.
The
best kind of match. And your main event is Private Party versus MXM Collection.
This is a decent main event, right? Unfortunately, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, we got to get Private Party over. So Private Party goes up with the more bang for your buck which is a series of moves, I guess, that they call that, which I don't remember if they ever called it that, but I'll take their word for it. If you want to know what it is, it's the old fireman carry into somersault, into 450 splash, into moonsault. So there you go. More bang for your buck.
Yeah. More bang for your buck. Why are they trying, before we get into Collision, why are they trying with Private Party after they totally buried him on Dynamite, mind you, as well? I think we skimmed past that. But do you remember the backstage segment where, who was it? One of the wrestlers said that, was it a wrestler or was it someone said that one of them's better than the other one? And ever since they said that, I think they said that, oh yeah, it was Callis. Don Callis that said it. I think, saying that Queen is the weaker one out of the both of them. Isaiah Cassidy's the one that's better. I actually disagree with that deep down. I think they're equally shit anyway, to be fair. Like, they're pretty equal. Like, one of them's not better than the other one. I just think they're the same shit. But by doing that, I feel like they're planting seeds. Could we get is it Marcus Quinn? I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce his name. Whatever the fuck you pronounce his name. But could he be
Mark
sort of
Quinn.
joining Don Callis?
Not that hard.
Mark Quinn. So I was right. Anyway, could he be joining the Callis family possibly, or just turn on Isaiah Cassidy?
Fucking no.
Because his attitude's kind of changed a little bit.
Just leave him a tag team. If you're going to do something with them, then just fucking do it. That's what I say.
Fair enough. Why do I even care? True.
I give a shit. Quit pretending to care, Jimmy. That's the first thing.
I know. No, really, I don't give a shit. That's true.
Yeah, would you really want to see a singles from either of these? You just trashed them both.
Absolutely not.
Right. So let's just keep them as a party, so to speak.
That's true.
Don't disband the party. So
let them party on.
Yeah, so they did the Young Bucks move, even though that's just one of their many thousands of moves. Like, if you really wanted to, like, send a statement to the Young Bucks, you could have done the TK driver, but, what, can they not do it? They can't do a flip off the rope? I'm pretty sure they could do it.
Have they really
maybe they were too afraid to pile drive somebody. They're like,
Maybe, but I've noticed they haven't been really using it like they used to. You don't hear, maybe Mouse is in the bad books right now with AEW.
Well, they changed it after they did it to Tony Khan. That's why.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Anyway, too much bucks on this show, on the previous show, by the way. But anyway, let's move on.
We're not talking about the previous show or the current show. We're talking about the next show, which is Collision. And we get a Moxley promo again. We're starting off with Moxley every time. He says tonight the new owners tonight is not going to be a coronation for Top Flight. It's going to be a public execution.
Ooh.
So get your plastic bags ready, guys.
Yeah,
not that anybody has died yet on this show, even though they've tried. But
dude, and no one is still ripping those plastic friggin' bags around their face. They're just letting they just want to die.
Yeah, just end it now. Ricochet versus AR Fox. This is a match that's been years in the making, ever since it was Prince Puma versus
this goes back to your Lucha Underground. Yeah, AR Fox was AR Fox against Prince Puma, but they didn't
get a different name.
No, he didn't. He's always been the Fox. He should have come out dressed as a fox back in those days, though. Wouldn't that make more sense? A puma versus a fox.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We got cats as well. Come on. We got tigers.
It's a missed opportunity. Come on. But you could just add that to the list of missed opportunities. Anyway, I'm sure you can guess who won this match. And, he hits the Ricochet driver, or whatever it's called. And then he calls out Takeshita. He's like, I want that belt, Takeshita. So, there you go. And then we get a promo from... What?
He's not going to get that belt anytime soon. Not yet, anyway.
Damn.
Well, you might. We'll see.
We get a Garcia Party promo. And then we get Chris Statlander versus Harley. This match went for 5 minutes. That was still too long.
You're onto something though. Why are they doing this with Harley? Why is she the like the final boss for half these women? It's like they got to go through her to get to the next stage all the time now. Ever since you pointed that out, I can't help but look at it that way now, and it's all the same. It's always the same. Like she's competitive, she always loses, but she's way too competitive against women that's supposed to sort of carry this company, but nevertheless, no one, who's carrying what. My point is, why is Harley Cameron like now? She's coming across as kind of like, they seem to like her, obviously. She's on every fucking show. She's the timekeeper of the women, it seems. What are they doing?
I don't know. Giving her a chance.
Okay.
But anyway, so we're getting a sort of establishing a pattern here where Statlander disposes of Harley Cameron with the Friday Night Fever and calls out Camille. So we have Ricochet come out and call out Takeshita. We get Statlander come out, call out Camille. It's like we just gotta. Then we get the Premier Athletes versus the Garcia Party in a trios match. Stokely's out there watching, as you know who wins this too. And we get an LFI vignette. And then we get Orange Cassidy versus one of the Savages. I forget.
Thank God this was over in 2 seconds.
Yes, this was the proper length for this kind of a match.
Right.
You see that the Iron Savages are just like 3 male Harley Camerons. So that's how she should be when she's in a match. She should be a female Iron Savage and just get beat in 30 seconds. That's all she needs. She gets her entrance. She could bite her thumb. She could do a pose. She could try to speak Chinese to the audience on her way down the ramp. And then she could get beat in 30 seconds. And she's just as over as she is if she's like trying to have contenders sell for her shit. Right?
It's weird, dude. No, since you pointed it out, it's legitimately bizarre to me now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say, but you're right. This match should have gone the way it did, and it did. What I pointed out, have you noticed the thing though with Orange Cassidy? Is anything different to you? Because it only came to me this week. I don't know how long this has been going for, but I just realized it this week.
Well, did you notice he's kind of a sad orange lately, but
well, his theme song's back to his original theme song, son. No More Jane. How long has it been like that for? I just noticed that now. Like it came to me now. But it could have been a lot longer than I just realized. So weird. Why? I wonder why they've done that, because Janie's much better for him, in my opinion. It doesn't matter, but because they both work. But I wonder what's up with that. Not that it really matters, though. I just found that interesting, though.
Let's have Zane Vicious. Anyway, next is Jamie Hayter versus Brooke Havoc. This was also the proper length.
Brooke Havoc.
And then we get Penelope up on the screen saying a bunch of shit. I'll be honest, I didn't listen to what she was saying. Except the very last thing she says, she won't let anyone forget her ever again, which I'm like, yes, I agree. I did forget you. So now it's up to you to make sure it doesn't happen. Yeah.
Good luck to her, man. Good luck to her, because she won't be doing that much.
Mm-hmm. So Lexi's backstage and Garcia Party goes to Orange Cassidy and they're like, Orange, you fought Jon Moxley before. You actually beat him. We need your help. And he's like, I'm no leader.
He's so depressed, man.
He's so
Where is his mind?
He's been squeezed.
He's so squeezed. He actually has been squeezed too much, dude. Think about it. I'm not joking. I'm being serious. How much, like, he was put through the ringers, like, in recent times, dude. So you're actually right. He's been squeezed. Legitly squeezed of all that juice.
All right, what do you think about this for juice? Atlantis Jr. versus Kyle Fletcher. This was the match we all came to see, right? Don Callis on the commentary.
That was a Blue Blazer.
You thought it was him? You thought that was...
I'm telling you, dude, the way he came out, the camera angle, the way they, like, done the camera shot, too, and him walking out looking kind of like the Blue Blazer, all I was hearing was just, do, you know, the thing, and then it kicks in. I've seen Atlantis Junior a lot, but for some reason, this particular match just took me back to Owen Hart as the Blue Blazer. Maybe it's the colors, but even the camera, the angle of the camera was exactly how they would do it when Blue Blazer would come out, you know. So that's what went through my mind, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting. Well, that's actually a very sad observation because the finish of this match is Kyle Fletcher gets up on the top rope and drops Atlantis Jr. on his neck onto the top turnbuckle. So that's the finish of the match, and he pins him, and there you go. Your winner, Kyle Fletcher.
Wow. Kyle, he needs to shut up though, man. He looks all right. The way he's kind of trying to present himself, I don't mind until he starts talking, man. Yes, he's from one neck of the woods, but motherfucker, he's got a high pitched voice, man, and it annoys the fuck out of me. Like the way he's like, "Hey, Osprey," like he sounds like that, and it really annoys me, man. Like cringe, like annoying. It's like, dude, just look fucking somewhat tough, kind of, right? He doesn't really, but you know what I mean. And just don't talk, man.
That's Kyle
Please.
Fletcher in a hoodie.
Oh God, and a fucking bowl haircut, dude. That was like so the 90s. Like, come on, bro.
Because his best friend stole his haircut. That's what he should have said. When
that would be great.
First of all, shout out to Jerome Hall. Thanks for coming in and hanging
Jerome.
out. Second of all, I glossed over earlier when they had the special press conference, but when Don Callis is out there and he gives everybody a turn, basically, when Kyle Fletcher comes up, he's like, everybody's been asking why Kyle, why, which nobody was. And he said, you want to know why? Well, too bad. That's his big promo, right? And
like,
all he had to say was, I had the curly mop Will Ospreay haircut first, and he came in and made me change it, so I hate him. That's all he had to say. So I drove him in the head. Yeah.
Do we get his former partner? God knows what's going on with the big fella in Mark Davis, but could he possibly be coming back, them being a team again, but being part of this Callis family, which I always think of Bobby the Brain Heenan and the Heenan family now with Callis, what he's doing.
I'm sure he does too.
Yeah, and it's the cheap fucking version. But in saying that, do you think Mark Davis does come back eventually and join his partner in the Callis family? Or we just don't see him ever again?
I don't know. I mean, you can maybe get a couple of, but okay, you know what's going to happen if they bring in Mark Davis and say, you know, like, oh, Kyle Fletcher's old partner, then you're gonna have to listen to the internet say, I don't remember this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? I don't care. You know, all this other stuff. So we could at least save ourselves that whole thing where all these people that claim that they don't care about AEW but just need to get on social media to complain about it. You know, we could skip that if we just leave Mark Davis at home and don't try to have a story with it.
And the sad part is, you're actually correct. That's what's going to happen. 100%. Facts.
Yeah. House of Black versus, okay, I wrote these names down because I know I'd never see them again. Alpha Zoe. That's one name.
Alpha Zoe.
Chris Nasty with 2 Y's. So it's
with
extra nasty. Yeah.
So it's nasty.
Yeah, or like nasty.
Oh, or yeah, no, nasty.
Or nasty. But
could be that.
They said nasty. And Olamide.
Who?
Olumide. It looks like the word looks like Olumide when you look at it, but because he's probably African, it's Olumide.
Well, I see. That's the name. I mean, for wrestling, dude, whoever you are, Olumide, whatever the fuck his name is. I know I botched it. Olumide. I don't know how to say it again, but whatever. Change the name for wrestling purposes, please. Like, come on. So that's just going to get you over ever with a name like that. Come on.
Well, neither is this match because the House of Black run a train on that kid. Um, and they definitely have no post match. So Lexi is with Rosa, and she's explaining. She's explaining to everybody, mainly the dirt sheets, even though that's not what she said. But you know that's who it's directed at because she says she's not injured. I was doing other stuff besides coming back to work. Anyway, Harley Cameron comes in and tries to get a little more screen time, and then Thunder Rosa knocks her out. So there you go.
And she's still talking on the friggin' floor, dude. Like she was still like,
Was it Chinese?
who's she? Might as well be. What I want to know is at this point, who the hell is she screwing, dude? She gets a lot of TV time, bro. Like at this point, it's getting ridiculous because it's not just on Dynamite, but it's on Collision, it's on Rampage, it's on everywhere, bro. I mean, honestly, like, what's going on with her, man? Why?
Hey, good for her. Maybe she's pitching things, and maybe people are saying yes.
Maybe.
Maybe she's like, hey,
Whatever,
Thunder
cool.
Rosa's got a promo. Can I get knocked out by her? Who knows?
Well, yeah, whatever. It is
All
what
right.
it is.
Here's
Hello,
what
it's
everybody
Thunder
came
Rosa
for.
again.
It wasn't Harley
Oh.
Cameron. No one came for that. It is the Outrunners versus Roosh and you have your button.
Dos.
Oh, no button.
Don't even get me into that. It's
Okay,
not working at the moment properly. I got to still figure that shit out.
What this piece of equipment costs that can't even work?
I need.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man. I'm getting really over it. I'm to the point where I've got my old box laying in wait just in case this really pisses me off. But anyway, I'll get back to that eventually.
So Roosh and the Beast Mortos versus the Outrunners. And yeah, this was a nice little match. They had a good, I mean, the crowd in Stockton was pretty into it. So
they should be.
Yeah, they were having fun with it. You know, the Outrunners don't do anything crazy. You know, Turbo Floyd's comeback is just body slams, you know, so but because they're out there, you know, doing what they do, that the people love it and they like Mortos and
man. Absolutely. Who can you hate in this match other than one person, maybe?
I love how Roosh will like no sell everybody and then he'll bump for the Outrunners. Like I love that. Like it's almost like he's telling you who he actually respects in the business by what kind of match he has, right?
Hey, it's true. He's known for that too. That's the thing, man. So
right,
absolutely.
I love the Jack Perry match where he kicks his ass for 15 minutes and then just gets rolled up. Loses. Like perfect, yeah.
That annoyed me bad, dude. That match. Now that you pointed out, oof.
I loved it. It was great. But anyway, so this match was pretty good, and the finish was you know, one of those things where like he's getting pinned because he tried to do like an outside in suplex or something, and then Dralisico grabs his leg and holds it down. You know, the old Bobby Heenan, Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior type finish, and
literally, yeah, from Royal Rumble. Was that 89? I think.
I think it was. FTR makes the save because they got to get some of this Outrunners rub.
Yep, FT Outrunners, dude. It's a thing. I mean, it's a thing, bro. Like I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, man. But it is. It's like Team 80s against wannabe Team 80s. We need Rip. Is it possible to get Rip as the manager for the Outrunners? Even wouldn't that be great if that was to happen? Imagine that.
It would, but it just won't happen.
You're smiling at the thought of it. I can see you're cracking a smile at the thought of it. I think it'd be awesome. That would really send them right over. But yeah, it's not going to happen. So why am I even saying it?
Well, here's what will happen, because we get a Sammy Guevara vignette, and he says that he wants to face Shelton Benjamin at Dynamite.
Okay, good luck to you, Sammy.
Oh man, I wish this was a shoot. I wish it was a shoot. I wish it was going to be a shoot.
Fucking ass.
All right.
So we're going to get that this week, you think? 100%?
That's what he said. Unless Mercedes in the building. So,
true. That's a good point.
all right. Looks like there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. It is a
I missed that.
trios championship match where you have the new owners versus Top Action.
And this was top action, right? I mean, it was action
I mean,
guaranteed.
these guys have
And
been fighting
Yuta
all
was
week long, and
all the whole same bunch of guys, but except Yuta seems to be like the savage from the jungles now.
yeah,
What's up with that? Like, what is he? Is he
he's
gremlin now?
unleashed.
He's unleashed, uncensored,
Mm-hmm.
unrestrained. He's like become the little friggin' chihuahua that's attacking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell,
He's
dude?
rabid. The mountaintop.
He's got
That's right,
rabies.
cold blooded. The mountaintop. You got to
The
climb
mouth is
this.
up.
You got to be at least 5'5" to get on this ride. Um.
Oh shit! Not the Space Mountain ride, but the mountain top ride.
Mhm.
Oh
Anyway,
fucking hell,
they give a
Yuta.
tombstone. They give a tombstone pile driver, and by they I mean what's that kid's name? Pac. Pac gives him a
Pack.
tombstone pile driver. You
Pack.
know how Pac always is tombstoning people left and right. Well, he gives a tombstone. He gives a tombstone to Action Andretti, and then they continue to kick their asses, of course, because they never get tired of kicking these guys' asses. Mox and Marina come down to help. They're like, hey, I'm tired of not kicking anybody's ass. We're going to kick some of these guys' ass. So Leo Rush and Layla Gray come down and they get their ass kicked. And then the show goes off the air, but technically it goes right into Battle of the Belts. And we get
Yeah.
the continuation of the beating. And then the Dark Order run down and attack. And then they get subdued. And then John Moxley says, I'm going to make another, because he owns the company. So he makes another trios title match right now. It's Dark Order versus the champions. And that starts Battle of the Belts. And I mean, this goes how you'd expect. They put Reynolds in the sharpshooter. He taps out. They continue beating him up. Finally, Garcia and Private Party run out because earlier when everybody was getting their ass kicked, it wasn't time for them to run out. But now it's time for them to run out, so they run out. And
Maybe they were like in catering, eating or something.
That was enough. That was enough for the new owners. They took off. They're like, oh, fuck that. We ain't messing with Daniel Garcia. Let's get out of here. Where's the truck? Get the truck ready. Oh my God, we're all out here. Nobody's in the truck.
I can't wait to see what the end game of this ridiculous bullshit is, dude.
Is Jack Perry here? Let's get his bus. He's not here.
Well, actually, Labrat, I think, brought it up earlier. Do you think the Elite have anything to do with this? Are they the puppeteers of all this?
Sure. Why not?
I actually don't think they're part of this, right? Personally, but people thinking that, I can see why, I guess, but I don't think you need to think that deep, peeps. It's just another heel faction with another heel faction, hence why they're not getting involved.
Yeah, well, hey, the important.
Thank you, Grass.
Yes, Grass. That is pretty much who it is. And those are the only people. Yeah, those are the only people that they want to beat up.
Yeah,
they're not going after any major stars. You saw what happened when a major star, Danny Garcia, came down. They took the hell off, ran like scalded dogs, tails between legs.
Yeah, because they saw the
Rock. Even Marina Shafir was like, "I'm not fucking with that. I ain't fucking with DG." He might thrust his hips at me, man. I'm out of here.
Did you notice when Moxie done his little thing about this right here is it? He's pointing at everyone. He says everybody but Shafir. I'm like, what about your female?
Yeah, she does what she wants.
I see. That makes sense. Right. Whatever. I just felt like, look, you buried her already. She's not good enough.
She's wonderful. All these guys are. It's the best angle in wrestling. Also, it's worth pointing out that Orange Cassidy did walk out there, and watch everybody get beat up or run off, and then just goes back up the ramp. Sad.
It was his song is sad
He
again
just wanted to
too.
see it up close, you know, like just want to see.
I'm telling you, Khan's got to get involved in this. It has to. But you know what's hilarious for me? They don't know where the end game is. I bet you they just don't.
Well, again,
So there's no more
I
BCC though, right?
I will point out that a guy got fired for grabbing a kid backstage, but these guys run out with plastic bags and try to kill the champion, and it's fine. They own the place.
I guess no context, but cool. Like cool. But you know what? You know, Labrat brings up a funny point about Retribution 2.0. Wasn't Shane McMahon sort of part of the, the Raw Underground and all that shit? Maybe we're gonna get All Elite Underground or some shit along those lines. With Shane McMahon
Dabba-Kato.
being, it was me. Yeah, could be that even. Why not? Bring Slapjack too. We've already got Mace in the company. I mean, come on. Why not?
Yeah, get Slapjack too. And
Yeah.
and speaking of TMDK, congratulations to Zack Sabre Jr.
Why? What happened?
He won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Bullshit. Did he? I didn't actually know that.
See, this is how far New Japan fell off. Nobody knows anything about what's going on anymore.
Reports. No shit, dude.
It's not cool anymore.
Happen?
It's not cool anymore.
Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. But when did this happen exactly? How long ago?
It's like the other day. I don't remember exactly what day. Last week. I don't know. Whenever King of Pro Wrestling was, he won it.
That's cool.
He said he didn't want to wait for Wrestle Kingdom, so he's gonna get it now. He's gonna cash in his G1 in the bank.
Well, personally, I think that's a good move for New Japan for now. Instead of being hot shotted around, Naito, Goto, or fucking even what's his name from Los Ingobernables, Tagaki. Instead of going around between all them, I'm actually happy for Zack Sabre Jr. because he's earned it, dude. Like right now, I think he's the best thing. Entertaining.
He's been there a long time too, and he's sniffed it a bunch of times, but now he's finally, Unfortunately, it just so happens that New Japan sucks. So.
Right. It's unbelievable how far they've fucking.
This is like when Drew McIntyre was the champ during empty arena wrestling. So
right. Oh, sorry. Good. Yeah.
But hey,
don't say
you know what? You know who was good in New Japan? Okada. And he has a match with Kyle O'Reilly here on Battle of the Belts. It's actually a battle for a belt. And
the international, the continental one.
Yeah. And of course, it's what do you expect? It's great. A divine, exquisite, perfection Okada match. Everyone's blessed. You're all blessed to watch it. Yep. Just yeah, delicious. Come on. Yeah, the only problem is it's too random. That's all. Yeah, it's a good match, but like he just the other day said he wanted to have this match and he just gets it. Like there's no, they don't even give you a full week to build. He just says it on one show and gets it on the next show, and we don't even get an announcement like someone coming out and saying, like Christopher Daniels coming out and saying, "You know what, Kyle? You've been working hard and you got it." Like not even that. It's just a graphic at the end of some show like, "Oh yeah, I guess Tony said yes." Whatever. Like they do that too much. So
yeah, way too much. Way too much.
Yeah, so like it's a if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around type thing. Like, yeah, you had a good match, but Jimmy, you barely even found out that this Battle of the Belts was on. Everybody else didn't have time to get excited for this match. No anticipation. Kyle O'Reilly is not over. He's just stuck in the middle of a group of guys that they're just saying like, "Hey, Mark Briscoe, do all the heavy lifting and get these guys over." It could have been better, but dude. If you just try to enjoy it for what it is, it's a good match. Here's a funny one.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, I watched it in practice. It was a good match too. But then they show LFI backstage and they are just mangling Hologram. Like Mortos is
I was
just like
wondering where he was.
they're cutting a
Is he
promo.
mauling him?
They're cutting a promo. It's you see Roosh and Dralistico cutting a promo. Even Dralistico says things. And then the camera, and you see Mortos off to the side, and the camera pans over and down, and he's just got more a hologram on the ground. He's like, and just like choking him or whatever he's doing with him, like eye raking his mask or.
Yeah. What they should have done though was, just the camera point towards Mortos, right? But he's like on the ground, like holograms on the ground, and he's mauling him, pretending like like he's biting him. And the camera quickly pans away, like, whoa, what was that? And he's like, and he turns around, to the camera to get away, whatever. That would have popped me, but unfortunately, we didn't get that though. Like you just said, instead, it was eye gouging him, and as he should. He's no hologram. He exists. He's nothing.
He's undefeated. He's the best wrestler in AEW right now. Speaking of great wrestlers,
money, by the way.
Yes,
undefeated too, by the way.
Brian Cage and Lance Archer. The new Don Callis family. Cage and Archer versus, are you ready for this, on Battle of the Belts, mind you?
Please. Belts.
Jack Cartwheel and John Cruz.
Oh, no, stop right there. So they're already lying to us. They already lied. This is false advertising. Clearly. What Battle of the Belt do we have? Well, okay.
Brian Cage is the Ring of Honor Television champion. However,
come on,
not on the line here in this tag team match. Unless he put it on the line in a tag team match and I just didn't hear it.
Or did he put it on the clothesline, maybe? I mean,
well, he would have had to run it by Moxley first if he could put his belt on the line, I guess. So,
see, this is false advertising again. They don't do that usually. At least we Battle the Belts. There's never been a World Heavyweight Championship match. Funny enough, not once. You know that so-called Battle of the Belts, but not one heavyweight championship match has been on there. But usually they do have whatever belt on the line, but they bullshitted. This is bad. This is bad, Tony. This looks bad.
Damn, it's not like they don't have enough. There's always somebody with a belt, and even though they had a belt in this match, it just wasn't on the line or whatever. Anyway, so the Undisputed Kingdom, they see Mortos backstage, and they're there with, I think it was Lexi's with them, and they're like, "Hey, Mortos, what's happening?" And then they give him like a plate of meat. They feed him a plate of meat, and they're like, they're saying, "What's with all this? What's with all this running around with these guys and attacking people and beating up hologram? Like, that's not cool, dude." And then Roderick's like, "We're not mad. We're just disappointed."
Really. This is not a rib. This is legitimately it happened. This is exact.
I promise you.
Okay, that's fucking weird, dude.
Mortos was eating meat from a plate. You can easily confirm this anytime you want if you think I'm lying.
I believe you. No, I believe you, but I just can't believe what I'm hearing, though. Like, legitimately, like I'm thinking, really? Like, really?
Believe it. Believe it, Jimmy. Wow.
Damn.
We believe. Dude. So, the main event.
Everyone wants to know. Wait, before you
was a meat cook? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it was raw.
For salmonella, for crying out loud.
It's okay if you're a mythical creature. You don't get salmonella.
That's a good point. That's actually a good point. Very, very valid.
Yeah. What was it? Who was it? Who ran into the Minotaur? Was it Theseus? Is that who it was?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Whoever it was.
I'm not 100%, but
yeah, whichever Greek hero it was that faced the Minotaur, I'm sure he didn't win with salmonella. I'm positive.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. You got me there. Oh man, now you just
use like a sword or something, probably. Like Perseus, maybe Perseus.
I'm typing it right now. Who faced Mortos? Such as right.
Something Ceus. No, he didn't face
Oh, it was
Mortos. That's
definitely.
going to be confusing. Yeah, there was like a maze. Remember, there was like a maze, and he was in the middle. It's God. It's been
I'll
so
tell you right
long.
now. It was Theseus. No, you're right. Theseus.
Sweet.
There you go. Ding ding. You got it. I knew you
Hey,
were gonna get it
I
right,
like
but
knowing stuff. It's pretty cool.
I wasn't 100% certain, even though like I was pretty certain, but not 100% certain. Because now you're taking me back. You should jump on a show to talk about this type of stuff, Vin. Maybe you know a lot more than I
Hey,
expect.
I'm at that age now. I've crossed the age threshold where that phrase I've forgotten more than most people ever know is starting to become a reality. Like I am forgetting it now.
Wow.
But I remembered that one,
Jeez.
I guess. But here's one I'll never forget. The main event of Battle of the Belts. It is the Glamour, Mariah May, versus the Awkward, the Anna Jay. And let me tell you
Oh,
something, brother. This match did not have a belt on the line. It was an
again.
eliminator match. So
What?
that means if Anna Jay wins, she gets a future title shot against Mariah May.
My
So
head
it's a
hurts.
battle of a future belt, perhaps.
Battle of the Future Belts?
Yeah,
We'll
like
call it that, Tony. Fuck yeah.
battle of a belt maybe later, like is what this show kind of was. Like
There's
perhaps
too
hey,
much of
okay,
that
so
shit
what
too,
if
man.
so like if John Cruz had beat Brian Cage in that tag team match, he would have got a Ring of Honor title TV title shot, right? Like
Oh,
that
have
probably
you?
would have happened. Probably.
Probably not 100%
Yeah,
certain. Just,
no.
just probably
And let
down
me
the
tell you,
line
John
somewhere.
Cruz had a chance there, but he just barely lost. So,
Well,
um, guess what? In full disclosure and transparency, I fast forwarded this entire match because I am not watching an Anna Jay match for 14 minutes, but I saw the finish. The crucifix pin. 1, 2, 3. Your new future
what?
title shot getter, Anna
Wow!
Jay.
Yay! Doing the Kermit.
That's right.
I mean, so
She was in
your
Japan,
prediction before?
Jimmy, just like Mariah May. Or it took Mariah May years in Japan. It only took Anna Jay a couple of weeks. They are now on the same level.
Could they possibly do the unthinkable in this situation? Or nah, they shouldn't. But is this?
It's
I know you're
time.
going to say anything is possible. No, but see, I get the feeling it's time for Mariah May to actually drop the belt too, though. But
It's
will she
time for
drop
Anna
it to
Jay to
Anna
take her
Jay?
rightful place
Oh
at
my
the top of
god!
the women's division.
Wow, her and her fucking man. Can you imagine that?
Gross.
Shit.
What is it
I
like?
still
What is
think
it like when it's like that scene in a 40-year-old virgin when when Gina's like, I'm a bigger woman than you are a man, so like
well,
that's what
I
I think
mean,
of when it's I look at these as a couple. Like, how could you take this guy seriously?
not just that. I mean, if she did win the women's championship, I mean, it's a bigger deal than his championship, is it not? Technically,
I mean, but it's still not a bigger deal than the Monday Championship.
but that's true. TBS is where it's at, girl. That's the real world
That's
championship,
right.
not this AEW women's pathetic belt,
TBS
whatever it is.
CEO.
You did it good. This I can't do it like you did. That was good. Oh wow, what a
This
fucking
was a
company.
totally
What a show.
worthwhile uh, Battle of the Belts, strictly
This
because
is
you had
great.
an Okada match in the middle of it.
This is awesome, dude. This shit right here was fucking funny and awesome at the same time. I mean that sarcastically, by the way.
Don't forget Meat
But sorry, man.
Mortos. There's Meat Mortos. You can
So we
confirm
did
it. You can
this.
all go to the internet and confirm it.
Well, you know what? I should believe you because the thing is, we saw intestines at one point, so there was definitely meat there. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they don't turn Mortos into like a boogeyman type of deal where instead of the worms coming out of his mouth, he's got meat, like or some shit. I can see him going this weird way with him. They're trying to build character, but they're not even sure where to go. Just keep him growling. To me, it makes me laugh. It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just when he starts losing it at someone, like he gets annoyed, he should just snap with the growls, dude. That's it. Like,
You
just
think John
growl.
Moxley's gonna tell him like, "Hey, slobbering and growling is kind of my thing, so knock it off,
God,
kid."
imagine that, dude. He literally comes up to him. Yeah, yeah, it's my thing. You know what I mean? That would pop me. But Mortos should be world champion, bro. I don't
That's
care what
right.
anyone says. Book him to the moon.
He should. It should be.
Keep
It
him up
should be
there.
Mortos versus Mariah May. That's what it should be.
Oh, that would be awesome, dude. Imagine Mortos becoming your new AEW Women's Champion. Call it the Mortos World Championship. I don't know,
Well,
bro,
why
but
not?
that's
Apparently,
entertaining.
anything goes here. You could just kill
Yeah.
people. You could just make your own matches. You could just do whatever you want. Just do whatever you
Oh
want. Like
man.
get any belt. Why not?
I'm in tears, bro. If you can see my eyes, like you're making me fucking cry from laughter here. Why not? I
Love
mean,
it.
it's yeah. Why not? I mean, it would be more entertaining, would it not be? At this point, fuck it. If you're gonna
I,
be like that, go all the way. Go
I
all the way, dude.
yeah, I
Just
didn't
run with
think
it.
it could be more entertaining, but it certainly probably can.
Mortos being like the ultimate dragon type of champion, where he just dominates AEW, wins everything from the women to the men, tag teams, everything. Just cleans up house. I would seriously love that. That's ratings right there. He's just no one can beat him because he's a beast. He's Mortos. That's it. No one can beat a beast, man.
It's true.
Unless it's Brock
Well,
Lesnar,
Cody
maybe. I
Rhodes
mean,
did. That's,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Brock Lesnar, the beast, not
yeah.
Mortos,
Or
but Brock.
yeah, or a like a 67 page file complaint can beat a beast, but it's okay.
Jeez.
As long as Mortos
Wow.
is getting over, then we're all happy.
Oh
In
man.
review, the week in AEW was very chaotic. They the more they
That's an
try
understatement.
things, the more they try things to be interesting. It's usually interesting in let's say in ways that I don't prefer. I just feel like in all honesty, I feel like if you have these ideas, whatever these ideas are, it's okay to have them and to do them, but then after you do them, then you have to follow up with something the way it would be, you
What's the
know?
problem? They don't know how to do that part though.
Yeah,
That's
like
the issue.
like like in a TV show or movie, like a lot of times when you kill somebody in front of a bunch of people or try to, you go to jail. And then the movie or show becomes about that person getting arrested, going to jail, and things like they show you the consequences of what you do. In
Not here,
AEW,
bro.
the consequences of everything, whether it's trying to kill a man or just asking for a wrestling match, they both lead to a wrestling match equally.
Equally.
So you know where everything's going, a wrestling match. So if you're not going to if you're never going to give any consequences for the things that you do, the things that you do will never matter. We can't take the new owners seriously as a group because our first question is always like,
Consortium?
yeah, our first question will always be, well, what are the bosses doing about this? Like, why is this
Right.
okay? Like, we always think that,
Why are they
and
the owners?
people say, oh, it's just wrestling, it's just a TV show, it's all this, but it's like, but to my point, in TV shows and other things, there are consequences. That
Exactly.
there's a world that you live in, and in that world there are consequences for your actions. You know, in Breaking Bad, Walter White's cooking all this meth, and his brother-in-law is like a cop, but he doesn't just cook the meth in front of his brother-in-law and nothing ever happens. And then by the next episode, they forget about it. The whole tension is like, is he going to get caught? Like things like that. You just don't follow up on your ideas. You have an idea and then you do it and then you just put on a wrestling match later. That's not good enough. Either just
It's
be
not.
wrestling matches or follow up your ideas with logic. That's my
You bring
advice.
up
Take it or leave it.
And it's great advice because you just brought up an interesting point. Either wrestling or just don't. The thing is that their weak point is telling a story, right? They just can't do it. So stick to what you know, even if we're all bitching about it, right? At least you somewhat know how to book dream matches. It's not even a dream matches. It's a snooze fest usually. The point is, do with your strength, and that's not even really a real good strength of his. But still, if that's your strong suit, just stick to it. I feel like all the negativity, they don't know how to tell stories. They hear it, they see it, and this is their way of like, yeah, well, fuck you. Here you go, promo after promo after promo after promo after promo, and now we've got the Taliban taking
Right.
over Afghanistan
Oh
once
yeah.
again in AEW with pickup trucks and all, dude.
Yeah. That's another issue because when people complain online about the things that AEW does, when people are online complaining about that, they get listened to.
They do
And then
legit.
and then you feel like you need to address it. And you shouldn't have to. Thunder Rosa shouldn't have to cut a promo about where she was to throw it back in the dirt sheet's face. You know, like she shouldn't even acknowledge it. Don Callis shouldn't even take shots at the wrestling media. You're selling for it.
Idiots. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it, dude. Like,
Yeah,
they
just
butted it these last couple of weeks. It's strange.
all
It's
right. Well, anyway,
bizarre. It's weird. It's not normal.
what we did get was we got an Okada match and a Jay White match in the same week. So, we
Can't
have to
complain.
focus on the positives.
Except for Jay White losing.
Who
Otherwise, you
cares?
can't
Who cares?
complain.
I saw the match up until
Well,
then.
that's true.
See,
He
you're
deserves
not
more and better,
by
though.
saying that you're
I
not
know.
taking the a la carte into account because you're thinking about the booking in the future. Just think that you got to see him for the amount of time that you saw him.
I'll say one thing before we go. It's because they get you kind of excited again, right? He comes back. He came back strongly somewhat, right? And then they're back to this 50-50 shit. Like, you're going to lose, you're going to win, then you're going to lose again. Then you're going to win, you're going to lose. But what's the long-term goal for him, you know? That's what worries me. Because they don't know long-term. They don't know. They don't know how to reach a freaking goal, bro. Well, tell me something that's been compelling throughout these 5 years of AEW other than a banger after banger of a match, yeah? I'm talking about in true storyline fashion. There hasn't been anything that's been compelling, dude, or serious enough. Like, they're serious is kind of comedy. You know how people like laugh at horror movies, for example?
Yeah.
It gets to the point where you just laugh, even though they're trying to be serious, but you're laughing at it. This is what
Mm-hmm.
this company is becoming. Do you know what I mean? Where you're just laughing at it, even though
This
they're
company is The
legitly,
Conjuring.
yeah, basically, and they're trying like to be dead serious though.
Yeah,
But
don't.
really, they look like clowns doing it. They look like they're not even being serious, but they actually are trying to be serious, and it's not working, dude. And this owner bullshit. Why are they the owners? Why aren't they the BCC anymore? Like, who's the
Well,
investors?
they
I
don't
want to
even
know who
have
the
a name.
investors are.
I just gave them that name.
But they are become. That's what they are, though. Like, really, they're calling them the. Are they not saying that? He's
Well, I
saying
mean, he
that.
did say you all work for me, so technically he said it. But the announcers, when they announce, for example, in the trios title match, she just announced the guys individually as Pac and Claudio and Yuta. She didn't have a team name for them, so they
True.
just
Moxie's alluding to it though, somewhat.
yeah, he's just saying. But it doesn't look. That's what they
I know
have
it
going
doesn't
on
matter.
right now. But all they do is beat up the guys that are barely on television or that are in a certain role, and then Moxley keeps coming on and doing promos where he says, I don't have time to explain myself, yet he just keeps coming out and rambling, but instead of explaining himself, he just says he
Buying
doesn't have
time.
time to explain himself. It's like back when Ethan Page was like, he was complaining about how he never gets any TV time with his TV time. It's like I don't even know if these people can see how dumb they are when they come up with this stuff, or like you think you're being deep or interesting, but you're not. So
Deep, bro.
yeah, so
This
Fireman
shit's
Fred and the
real.
and Fireman Fred and ladder AEW can do whatever they want. And when they eventually get to their point, then we'll see if it was worth it or not. But as of right now, we're still waiting for that. You guys have been waiting for the show to end, so we're going to end it for you.
You did pretty well considering the
What
amount
else
of
can we
content.
do? What else can we do, Jimmy? Other
Well,
than
like Gruss says, maybe bring Jeff Jarrett, behind the invasion of GFW 2.0. Might as well.
there
They
you
need to
go.
send an SOS. Could it be Hook? They put the Hook sign up there. Hook comes down, destroys, cleans house.
Well, what if John Moxley was the one who attacked Taz?
Don't be surprised if that's where they go. I bet you that's where they're actually going. I think you're onto it. I'm telling you, dude, that's probably what's going to happen. And then
All
what?
right. And then we're going to
Hollywood
sign
John
off.
Moxley.
So, you
Yeah.
can find me at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. Please follow me. You can find me on HMG on the Next Level Wrestling Review, Big Ray Hernandez, every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find me every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Impact Attack with Brandon. We talk about TNA. So between NXT and TNA and all those crossovers they do, I'll be covering all that for you. Check out Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Check out Stevie Richards show. Check out JTG's YouTube channel. Check out HMG shows like The Bottom Line with RBV and sports betting stuff and everything else that we do. And I Like It Raw with Jimmy T. Jimmy T, what else are you doing?
Yes. Well, this very show and the Smack Attack, but you just done it for me. I don't need to say shit. I mean, you just covered everything. I didn't even have to ask you, but actually, I am going to ask you, what are you doing right after this show? Because that's the part
Oh, I'm
that
going on
you haven't
Twitch,
actually spoken about.
and that's at Opinion Haver everywhere. You don't have to worry about where to find me. If you can remember this name, Opinion Haver, all one word, and you Google that, a bunch of stuff comes up. Some of it's me, most of it's me. If it's not me, it'll be easy to see that it's
Have
not
you?
me. You see?
Oh, I see. And what game are you playing, actually, Vet?
Well, I really like to finish Silent Hill 2 because it's been going on
still.
longer than this whole, new owner's angle so far. And I really just like to finish that game and move on. So let's see if we can do it.
Well, at least there is an ending to that storyline, unlike something else. But anyway,
One
I
would hope.
digress. Yeah. Well, if you want to follow me, though, you can on the Twitter at DJ MassFX and at the PWC Network. As per usual, please like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where for $5 only do you get the realest but the best talk in all of pro wrestling. Also, HaminMediaGroup.public.com for our affiliate shows. And please like and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel and share that shit around, please, folks. Keep going. We're close. Get us to that 1K mark. It'll be very much appreciated. But in saying that, I think it's time we send it home. I am Jimmy T. That is the vet, Jamie Williams. And you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage!
That's the Japanese version. The Wreckage! We're out. Peace. Oh, shit.